What up, what up, what up, what up? Like I mentioned a few weeks ago, I'm going to start doing a few more of these videos and sharing them out just to kind of give you guys an idea of how I operate or whatever. You know, as a podcast, I'm learning that these videos are very, very important to produce regular content and things like that. And I'm about 85% through this new book titled Thank You for Walking Away by Miss Angelina Rosario. Man, teammates, now you guys heard from her co-host Alicia a few weeks ago, and I'm hoping I can get her on the show at some point. But man, you know, me being someone who's grown up with an older sister who works as a fitness consultant, I have a niece. I'm around women so much, and the way they think about, the way the majority, I'd say 99%, high 90% of women, the way you guys think about men and how distorted your view of men is, it's mind-boggling. And I'm so appreciative to Angelina for putting this book out there, because it's like, I highly recommend it. But it's not that she holds women just as accountable for men. Like, it's not one of those books where you read a book about a woman's complaining about the men ain't shit, the men ain't this, the men ain't that. But she literally says, if men are complicated, I'm 85, I'm not done yet, I'm not finished yet. I can't even function. I'm on my high right now. I'm trying to collect my thoughts because there's so much in the book that I agree with. But she said, if men seem complicated, or if men are off base, it's because women make us that way. You know what I'm saying? She's preaching right now. It's because women, the way women overthink situations. She said it specifically. Men are very black and white, and I agree with her. There's not that much gray area in a man. But the reason we're so complicated is because women overthink a lot of the situations, and you make excuses and you don't let things go when it's time to let things go, or you just make things so much more complicated than they have to be. So Miss Angelina, appreciate you. I know you're busy, and hopefully I can get you on the show at some point. Man, again, I'm going to reach out definitely when I finish. Like I said, I'm not finished yet, but I had to share these moments with you guys because, man, it's real. It's real. Anyway, fellow teammates, continue to move swiftly. We'll talk more soon. You guys a message is, what up? Just jumping on here to give a real quick shout out to Coach Misty Buck. We recently had a coaching session, and it was incredible. All right. Coach Misty is the author of a book titled Athlete Mental Health Playbook. This is it. Check her out. Boom, boom. Make sure you guys go get a copy. It's an awesome read. And what I really loved about the book is it isn't just a read. It's one of those things where she puts her money where her mouth is, because she creates a ton of activities, and it's one of those things where you can hold yourself accountable. You don't need her walking you through it. You can start to write things out, and man, there was so many things, so many lessons, so many little activities that I was able to put down, and after reading it, I felt just a little bit better. And that is an awesome thing when you can do that, when you could touch someone without actually having to be there physically. When you have that skill, anyone that's read a great book can resonate with that. So just like I said, I just in here to give a quick shout out, Coach Misty Buck. Appreciate you, man. I can't wait for everyone to listen to the episode we did. It'll be out in a few weeks. Anyway, everyone, continue to move swiftly. We'll talk more soon. What up? Just jumping on here to give you guys my weekly message. In fact, to a weekly book review. Now, if you're watching this and you knew me in high school, you would know how huge of a G Unit fan I was. I was the kid actually wearing G Unit sneakers and wearing G Unit tees, like G Unit outfit from head to toe. So I was really excited to dive into 50's book. It's titled Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter. I was really pumped to dive into that because I really wanted to understand how he was able to control. I wasn't the only diehard 50 fan, the diehard G Unit fan. And I was really curious to know what he did to control the minds of the high school kids. And man, I gotta tell you, I definitely recommend you guys get a copy of this because it's like the way he was thinking it. Well, here's what stuck out for me. Being a boxing trainer now and being in the sports and the fitness world, what really stuck out was how just the boxing changed his life. Just having a boxing gym in the area that he grew up in really changed his mindset and allowed him to build so many aspirations. And obviously he goes in on the deal with vitamin water, how he changed the flavor. He made sure that it was grape if it was going to be Formula 50, all kinds of things that he just dived into. And just the energy and the people around you, just all the bullshit that he had to deal with. I highly recommend you guys get a copy. I'm doing my best not to spoil it for you. Once again, it's Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter by Mr. Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. Mr. Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. As far as this week, shout out to Omar Powell. Look forward to publishing the episode this Sunday. He's dropping some bombs. Telling you, you guys caught a bit of a teaser on it Monday, but he's dropping some knowledge. Again, appreciate all you guys, appreciate all the support that you guys have been showing, man. Appreciate everything you guys are doing. And we'll continue to support. There's some great things going on. And continue to move swiftly. We'll talk more soon. What up? Just in here, drop book review. And this week we have a book titled Black Privilege by Charlemagne the God. A really powerfully written book. And seeing that it's Black History Month and all the things that are going on in this world. And it's, I mean, actually, I've been thinking about this a lot. Ever since I had the first Move Swiftly seminar, I've thought about being Black and being an African American in this country and constantly having to deal with the fact that we're Black. One thing that we have as Black people, and we can all resonate with this, is that we have absolutely no room for error. Zero room for error. When we want to do something, we gotta like be perfect, especially when it comes to establishing ourselves in the business world and the corporate world. And what I love about this book, what I love about it, is the fact that he talks about how it's a privilege. It's a privilege to have to be so on point with everything you do. That's why we don't look at it like, and I'm talking to a lot of brothers out there, a lot of African American, a lot of Black men specifically, who may look at it and feel like, man, you know, no one ever gives me a shot at. I never get the opportunity that somebody gets. It's God really, it's making it so you gotta be perfect and you gotta work your craft a little bit more. That your shit is like on point. And that's really where he gets you. So yeah, I can remember before the book feeling down or feeling upset about the fact that it's like, shit, why do I have to have a funny name and I gotta be Black on top of that? I gotta have a name that's really difficult to pronounce, plus I gotta be Black? Like, what's up, God? But then as you read it, you start to transition and you start to realize that's your privilege, that's your gift. So anyone out there listening and they feel different, or they feel like, man, you know, the quote unquote white man ain't gonna give me a shot, or this ain't gonna happen because of the color of my skin. Stop it. Stop that talk. Stop talking like that. Again, pick up a copy of the book. Charlemagne the God, Black Privilege. Strongly recommend it. Like always, appreciate you guys tuning in. Continue to move swiftly. We'll talk more soon. What up? Here we go with today's weekly book review. It is Shark Never Sleeps. You guys get that? Shark Never Sleeps by sports agent Drew Rosenhaus. It's interesting because the Super Bowl party I went to this past Sunday, they were talking about Drew Rosenhaus and how we met him. It was a shout out in CeeLo, Joel. Appreciate the hospitality, bro. Now, with this book, it's interesting because, you know, Drew Rosenhaus was like a diehard Dolphins fan, and he was friends with a lot of the players way back when he was a kid. And it really got me thinking about, you know, how we all have to live in our truth. how, you know, just because, like, it's one of those things where he knew he wanted to do it at such a young age that he would work with his brother. Him and his brother started the agency, and his brother, you know, gave up what he was actually doing so Drew Rosenhaus can become the sports agent that he is. You know, and it really got me thinking about family and how we work together with people and things of that nature. And, you know, he gives, whether you like Drew Rosenhaus or not, and there's a lot of people who don't like him, I definitely recommend, if you're in sports, especially this time of year where there's going to be a lot of free agency, you know, this is it's a meat market now because everyone's looking to get signed in certain places. I definitely recommend that you pick up a copy of it just so you know how crazy this business is. And he gives some good advice. There's one thing I got to share. Paige, and this is because I'm sharing this because I think it's important for everyone to read and understand it, because he's talking about players. He's talking about players in the NFL who have become like his friends and stuff like that. And he was talking about, there's a chapter talking about booby traps, page 185. He goes, you naturally fall in love. This is him talking about an NFL player who's maybe dating a girl or maybe in a situation where he's just having a tough time with his girlfriend or whatever it is. He says you naturally fall in love not with the girl, but with the sex. It's so great you can't get enough. Before you know it, you'll be thinking about having sex with her all the time. You start wanting to get out of practice early, and instead of knowing your playbook, you're playing around with her. You spend all your time and money trying to keep her happy, so she'll keep your Johnson happy. So that's just a quick excerpt on what this book is really about. Like I said, it's the guy. I'm pretty sure most people seen that movie, Jerry Maguire. This was the guy that they were about. So I don't want to keep you guys on here too long. Anyway, this week's book review: A Shark Never Sleeps by Drew Rosenhaus. As always, continue to move swiftly. We'll talk more soon. What up? Here we go. Our weekly book review. I already know. You know we had to go. My guy, my main man, Mr. Taj Deshawn. Thrive After Sports, helping athletes dominate the game of life. All right, get a good look at it. This was my first ever Move Swiftly guest, and I gotta tell you, I couldn't be prouder to brother. I mean, listen, this book, all right, the best way to describe this book, if you're an academic advisors out there, really listen to what I'm getting ready to tell you. Because Taj and I, when we were in college, we had this academic advisor named Raj. And Raj, I can't remember his last name, but it's not important. Raj didn't last very long, and this is why Raj didn't last very long, is because there was a time, I can remember there was a time in which I went into his office because I was a transfer, and Raj was trying to get me to take a bunch of easy classes because I transferred so many credits in, and we're trying to get me to graduate, all that kind of jazz. And Raj was like, yo, this is a real easy class, man, a lot of the guys are taking it, you know, shit like that. And apparently Taj had overheard what he was telling me. So when I got out of Raj's office, Taj was just venting about, you know, this is some bullshit. This is nonsense. How they try to push us. The reality of it is they sell this dream of you're going to go to school and you're going to get this great education. But the reality of it is there really are a lot of academic advisors out there. Just so you guys know, Raj didn't last very long. And I really enjoyed this book from the perspective of someone who is aspiring to be an academic advisor, who is working as an academic advisor. They're not working under the greatest resources. I get it. There's a lot of athletes who blow off classes. There's a lot of athletes that don't take the academics seriously. They don't pick up their free books. There's tons of that shit. I get it. Academic advisors, if you do not get yourself a copy of this book, I'm telling you, you are doing yourself a disservice, because what it does to you, for you as an academic advisor, it creates activities. It creates real, actual things that you can apply to make it so the athletes really realize the opportunity that they're having, that they're blowing if they don't go to class. There's really actual engaging things that he puts at every chapter that you as an academic advisor can use to engage the students. Understand that the students are there on a college campus and they want to do well. There's not one student, I know it may not seem like it, but there's not one student who is on there on full scholarship that isn't on some level interested in having a better life. So if you pick up a copy of this book, what you're going to start to think about is some activities that you can incorporate to engage your athletes and say, hey, look, this was a guy that played here, had the same mentality. He's incredibly transparent. And if you guys listen to the episode, there's a strong possibility that we got to get him back on the Move Swiftly podcast just to really wrap things up, because people wanted more when they, you know what I'm saying? They wanted more when they heard from him. But again, like I'm trying not to keep you guys on here for too long. I just have to give you that nugget. This weekly book review. Thrive After Sports, Helping Athletes Dominate the Game of Life by Taj Deshawn. Proud of you, bro. All you guys continue to move swiftly. We'll talk more soon. What up? What up? Here we go. Our weekly book review. I already know. You know we had to. What up? Here we go again. Another weekly book review. Today I have one of my all-time favorite authors. His name is Mr. Seth Godin. Latest book I read from him, titled This Is Marketing. You Can't Be Seen Until You Learn to See. Now, this is the same author that wrote Purple Cow and Lynchpin, and one of my favorites was All Marketers Are Liars. And then he puts a line through it. He said, no, they're all great storytellers. Now with this book, and this is for anyone that's really into marketing as I am, and really into their business and really into their idea. There's so many gems. There's so many things that he drops. There's so one nugget. He said, don't do it because you're making a living. Make a living because you're doing it. Wow. Well, I mean, that was the line that really struck. And again, if you could see the book, it's highlighted up. It's like literally colored. It was one of those books that I just couldn't put down. Again, this is it. He said, don't do it because you're making a living. Make a living because you're doing it. What that means is, before you figure out in your own head exactly what it is you want to present to the world. And when you do that, people are going to get out your way. I'm living proof example of it. There are two things that are going to happen. People are going to get out your way, and you're going to start to recognize who's for you and who's not, because you already in your own head made the decision. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Like he flips the phrase, like, because we're so used to hear, I'm only doing this because I'm making a living, or I'm doing that because it's paying me right. But do it because, not make a living because you're doing it. When you think about when you think about all the things that you guys listening in, when you think about all the things that you're very passionate about, that you can speak about for hours, when you touch that place, and I know I'm only speaking to a few of you, there's very few of us that touch that place where people are paying you for something that's coming out of your own head, where people are literally paying you for you being you. And when you touch that place, when you tap into that, I'm telling you, and I will warn you, before I get off this, I will warn you, yes, there are going to be a great deal of people that hate to see you doing well. They're going to hate the idea. They just can't take it. Do what he's saying, and understand that it's not anything against you. It's not anything against you with the great idea. Just keep moving forward with your idea. And if you understand that you're doing it not to make a living, but you're making a living because you're doing it, then, like I said, people are going to get out your way. You're going to keep moving. Eventually, yes, initially it's going to hurt when you have to listen to all the bullshit people say about you. But at the same time, in those same breaths, you're going to realize, guess what? I get to do what I was called to do. I don't necessarily have to work for someone. Even if I do have a job, I don't have to work for someone, because in my mind, I know what I'm doing and I know my next step. All right, like I said, I could talk for hours about Seth Godin, man. Go, if you haven't read any of his books, go check out his blog. Go do anything you could. If you're really like a marketing type of a person, this is it. This is it. And before I get off, first of all, I gotta shout out everyone who's been supporting. Go get a workshop, a Move Swiftly workshop. pre-orders on the new book. Make your move! Make your move! Make your move is officially ready for pre-order. Should be ready by the summer. Again, appreciate all the support I've been getting from you guys, man. We got some great things happening in the 2021. I remember actually the beginning of this year, my slogan was, what's gonna get done in 2021? And I couldn't get a lot of these things done without like the support and just being on. And there's some great guests coming down the pipeline on Move Swiftly. Again, everything that's going on this year, I appreciate all of you guys. Continue to move swiftly. We'll talk to, oh yeah, wait, let me give you one more reminder. Book review for the week. This is marketing. You can't be seen until you learn to see. Marketing. You can't be seen until you learn to see. Get you a copy. Fellow team, everyone, continue to move swiftly. We'll talk more soon.